Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be discussing more of the Better Call Saul Season 6 official trailer, breaking down details that we missed before, along with elaborating on some more Season 6 theories and predictions. There's a ton of theory on who Lalo's mystery man is at the end of the trailer, Hank and Gomez were spotted in the trailer, Clifford Main is helping Howard against Jimmy, someone is helping Nacho on the run, and more is revealed about the white van. The pieces on Howard's fate are being put together. We break down the trailer song and how it affects Kim and Jimmy's relationship, along with predicting their grim future and much more. Considering how much we discussed in the last video, I'm surprised that there's so much that I missed, but I'm really excited to explain all of it. Subscribe to the channel for more Better Call Saul Season 6 theories and breakdowns, and like the video if you enjoy the video. Warning of spoilers for Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul Season 5, and let's jump right into this.
Start talking.
Many of you left very insightful comments on the last video, and since much of what I'm discussing in this video is from your comments, I'll show some of them on screen as we jump from topic to topic. So I kinda have these subjects split up into vague categories, as you can tell by the timestamps, and we're gonna start out with Gus, Nacho, and Mike. There's been some speculation in regards to what Hector and Gus are shaking hands over in the trailer, and one comment theorized that Gus could be ratting out Nacho. This further plays into our previous discussion in my last trailer breakdown video about the Salamanca twins chasing after Nacho. Since the cartel never finds out that Lalo's failed assassination attempt was ordered by Gus, it's possible that Gus could be throwing Nacho under the bus to Hector and explaining that Nacho tried to, or did, assassinate Lalo due to Nacho fearing for his own life along with his father's. And Hector would believe this considering his own past with trying to work with Nacho's father.
Where's Papi? Here's Papi.
Gus could then further convince Hector this by spilling the beans that it was Nacho who swapped Hector's pills in Season 3, and that Nacho is the reason why Hector is in a wheelchair. It'd be absolutely crazy for Gus to spill the beans on this, giving payoff to the foreshadowing that the Season 3 finale had. But if Gus blamed Nacho, Mike would be pissed about this. I don't know how Mike will grow such a close bond with Gus by Breaking Bad if Nacho gets thrown under the bus, especially after the Werner Ziegler situation. Mike could tell Saul that Lalo's still alive and that Nacho was blamed for the failed assassination attempt, along with possibly the pills as well. This then explains why Saul blames Nacho during the Breaking Bad scene, it wasn't me, it was Ignacio, and why he thinks Lalo's still alive.
No, it wasn't me, it was Ignacio, he's the one! Oh no! Oh no! Ay, siempre soy amigo! Siempre soy amigo del cartel! Shut up! I just speak English. Lalo didn't send you? No, Lalo!
I love all the different points that this theory would touch. We get a callback for Nacho swapping the pills, a reason why the cartel never finds out about Gus trying to kill Lalo, an explanation for Nacho running away, along with an explanation for the famous "it wasn't me, it was Ignacio" line in Breaking Bad. To be honest, I'm ready for this plotline to blow my mind. So in case I didn't mention in the last video, the scene of Nacho looking through a few holes in the wall is actually probably him inside of that tank of liquid that we see later on in the trailer. Some say that the hole could be from a shotgun, others say that it's just a rust hole. Also, a lot of people think that the liquid Nacho is hiding in isn't water. Some say it's oil, others say it's blood, who knows. It definitely would add to the desperation Nacho has to stay hidden, to be willing to submerge himself into an unknown liquid, well, at least to us. There's a comment that reads, "I always thought it's Nacho's father that dies as opposed to Nacho due to his actions. Both the Salamancas and Gus know about his dad. Going after his father would hit him harder than his own death, or at least making sure his dad dies first." The trailer confirms this. We see Nacho in an obscure location looking out for himself, leaving his dad unprotected. Nacho's escaped death so many times, it'd be interesting if he survives but loses everything in the process. His survival attempts might be for nothing and he could die anyhow. So yeah, I don't think things bode well for Nacho's father.
I don't trust him.
Either Nacho's in Mexico running away from the Salamanca twins while simultaneously trying to get back to Albuquerque to see his father, or he's just running away in general because he has no reason to return to Albuquerque due to finding out that his father is dead. I don't know how he would find this out. Maybe he does return to Albuquerque and then run away again. We'll just have to wait and see how the pieces get put together. I got a comment that says that the gun from the envelope is one of the two that Nacho is holding while lying in the back of the truck. After checking back on the clips, this appears to be true. Nice catch. I'd say that Nacho paid for the gun somehow while on the run, but since the envelope has money in it too, that's not the case. This appears to be a care package left for Nacho to help him survive, but who left him this? I bet Mike was the one that left him this care package, or at least got someone else to. I'm also not sure if Gus is allowing Mike to do this, or if he's doing it on his own. We know that from when Mike confronted Gus about Nacho in Season 5, Gus doesn't have sympathy for Nacho like Mike does. Mike had to convince Gus to give Nacho an opportunity to escape during the assassination attempt. Gus didn't want to, but he did it to keep Mike loyal. As I said earlier, things are already edgy between Mike and Gus, since Mike isn't too happy with Gus after the Werner situation, and abandoning Nacho would only make it worse. Mike probably wants Gus to help Nacho seek asylum, so to speak, but if Gus blames Nacho for the assassination attempt, throwing him under the bus, I doubt Gus will want to help Nacho, much aside from maybe allowing Mike to leave him care packages, almost just to shut Mike up about the situation. Or Mike could be doing this behind Gus's back, who knows. Got another comment that says, if you look closely, Gus is sitting in the passenger seat of the white van as Mike watches the doors close. That's probably the same van that they show earlier, with the shot with Victor driving and Gus next to him. And then I got another comment saying that Nacho's in the van too. So taking a closer look, I can confirm that it is Gus sitting in the front passenger seat of the white van. And I do assume that Victor is driving, and that yes, this is related to the clip of Victor driving with Gus and then driving Mike out to the desert to drop him off. As far as Nacho goes, I can't confirm or deny that he's in the back of the van, but somebody's got to be closing the doors, right? It could just be another one of Gus's henchmen, such as Tyrus, closing the doors though. Also, in my last video I said they were picking Mike up, but they're actually dropping him off as the doors are closing on him. Could they be dropping Mike off so he can go and try and help Nacho? Or maybe they sent him out to kill Nacho, like how Gus made Mike kill Werner. Got another comment saying that the underground corridor that Gus is walking down could be to the super lab. If that's the case, it'd be super cool, but it's a hallway I don't believe we've seen from Breaking Bad. Plus, to be honest, the super lab story arc kind of dragged down Season 4 a bit, so if they return to it, I hope it's short and sweet. The next kind of vague category is Mike and Hank and Gomez. Before we talk about Hank, I do want to speculate on an interesting theory involving Mike at Nacho's house.
Hold on. What?
Nacho manages to make his way back to Albuquerque, but as he approaches his house, he finds it's under surveillance, probably from Lalo's people. He finds Mike and tells him that there's important stuff in his hidden safe that he needs to get in order to get his father and him safely away, but he can't get to it. Mike is able to somehow arrange to safely get into Nacho's house, which he finds ransacked, but Lalo's men didn't find the hidden safe, so Mike is able to not only get Nacho's stuff, but plants other stuff in the safe and then somehow tips off Lalo's people that there was a safe in Nacho's house that they missed, leading to the shot of them trying to break into the safe by brute force, where they find Mike's planted evidence that sets them off on a false lead. So first off, I love this theory. It gives a twist to the situation that the trailer is showing us. It explains why Nacho's place is trashed by the time that Mike gets there, along with how and why he's the one to recover the fake IDs for Nacho. Obviously there's some details missing, but I could see the writing of the show taking this direction. But on the other hand, a ton of people are saying that it actually looks like Hank and Gomi that are the people cracking open the safe. And after a second look, oh my god, they're right.
What?
You know what, when you're right, you're right.
Hank is the one standing on the right, and Gomi is the one actually opening the safe. I don't know how the hell I didn't notice this last time, but holy crap, thank you guys for putting this out. This is wild. How large of a role will Hank and Gomi play? Why are they trying to break open Nacho's safe? Are they the ones that ransacked the place? This leaves me so confused. So pretty much take that theory that I read out loud a moment ago, but replace Lalo's people with Hank and Gomez. Nacho could try and return to his place, but he finds it's under surveillance by Hank and Gomez, so he finds Mike and gets him to help. Mike is somehow able to get into Nacho's house, probably by luring Hank and Gomez away somehow, so he searches the ransacked house and gets to the safe before Hank and Gomi can. Mike gets into the safe, gets the stuff that he needs, plants false evidence, and then closes it up again, and then we see Hank and Gomez open it up themselves and find the fake evidence, leading them on a false lead. But yeah, please leave any and all theories in the comments in regards to the safe situation involving Hank and Gomi versus Mike. Maybe we can discuss how big Hank's role will be during Better Call Saul Season 6 in a future video.
And this better be worth it.
This next kind of vague category is everything that involves Lalo and the Mystery Man. At the end of the Season 6 official trailer, Lalo is seen with someone smiling in the mirror back at him. This appears to be the same night that Lalo's failed assassination attempt happened, as Lalo's still wearing the same shirt with blood on his shoulder. At the end of Season 5, with Lalo marching off into the darkness, he must have went to this man first. The fact that the trailer ends with him smiling in the mirror back at Lalo implies that he'll be a big deal, and they act like we should know who he is, but we don't, so who is he? A commenter left a link to the actor's name who plays this mysterious man, which is Marcus Deanda. Sorry if I said that wrong. Not only does he look like the guy from the trailer, but if you scroll down to the television portion of his resume, it does say Better Call Saul as a co-star on the top of his list, implying that it's the most recent. So it can be confirmed that this isn't the same actor as the cab driver or any other character that we've seen before. This is definitely a new character getting introduced into Better Call Saul Season 6. Mystery Man Theory number 1. This is Lalo from the future. Now, kinda sounds wild, right? Some say that he's Lalo during the Gene timeline, which could be possible but not likely. But how could there be two Lalos at once? Well, maybe Lalo's remembering his past self, but I don't know, I don't think they're gonna mess with the timeline that way with the cinematography. Plus then, what, this would be during the Gene timeline, but after Color has returned to the Gene world? No, I'm sorry to the people that suggested that. I don't think this is Lalo from the future. I do believe that this is a separate character, whether he's a Salamanca or a body double, which leads us to Mystery Man Theory number 2. Is he another Salamanca? If so, how's he related to Lalo? Is he Lalo's father, an uncle, an older brother? All of the young Salamancas appear to be cousins. They all refer to each other as cousins. The twins are cousins. Tuco is a cousin. Lalo is Tuco's cousin, etc. But I'm still unsure of the Salamanca family tree exactly. They're all cousins, that means they all have different parents that are brothers and sisters, but the only old Salamancas that we know of are Hector and Abuelita. Who exactly are their dads and who are their uncles? How are Abuelita and Hector related? I'd like to see a Salamanca family tree if it's out there. Introducing another Salamanca into the final season could be interesting, but I hope it doesn't undermine Lalo. I hope they instead work together, with them being built up, maybe just for this mysterious man to eventually die somehow while trying to help Lalo. Or maybe if Lalo survives somehow, this man goes into hiding with Lalo into the Gene timeline. Mystery Man Theory number 3. What if he's not related to Lalo, but he looks a lot like Lalo, right? He has similar hair, so if he's not related, why do they look so alike? The most popular theory is that he could be Lalo's body double, and that he's shown shaving in the trailer because it's part of the makeover, so to speak. Now, why does Lalo need a body double? Is he going to fake his death? The only thing that I could think of is that during the same night as the assassination attempt, Lalo could use this man as a body double and plant his body at the crime scene in order to fake his own death. Now, if Lalo wanted to fake his own death with just photos or something like that, he could do it himself and just, take photos of him looking dead. But no, it's like he's trying to provide a decoy body as proof that he's dead without it obviously being him. Now, if Lalo faked his own death, this means that he could go into hiding and survive the events of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, and even into the Gene timeline. We always thought that Lalo would die during Better Call Saul because of the scene in Breaking Bad where Gus tells Hector that he's the final Salamanca, but maybe that's because Gus and Hector both think that Lalo's dead when he's really alive and in hiding. Now, Lalo being in hiding or faking his death in regards to the Breaking Bad scene with Gus and Hector, it's already been a theory for years now, and I've mentioned it on the channel multiple times. I never thought it was gonna happen or gain any traction, but now with Lalo having a body double, this could link the clues together and make this theory actually possible. Now, elephant in the room. Although this mystery man kinda does look like Lalo, he's not an exact doppelganger. If I can tell that that's not Lalo, so can Gus, so can the Salamancas, and so can the authorities. This is why I don't think that this double will just be pretending to be Lalo, just get thrown in jail or something like that. And if he's going to die for Lalo to provide a fake body, they're gonna have to beat up his face a bunch in order to make it harder to tell that it's not him. As a side note, if this mysterious man knows that he's going to be a dead body double for Lalo, why does he smile as if he's happy or or excited to die for him? How is him sacrificing his life worth it to him? Does he just love the Salamancas that much? Or does maybe he has a family that's getting threatened or paid off? You know, maybe they're threatening his family and the only way to get the cartel to leave them alone is if he does this and sacrifices himself. But it seems like this guy's happy to see Lalo. He's excited. He's like, ooh, the fun's just beginning, as he smiles back at him through the mirror. So why would he be excited to die if this is actually a body double? What else could Lalo use a body double for if not to kill this guy and fake his death? Like, I get the guy in Breaking Bad season 2 purposely taking the fall as Heisenberg and getting sent to jail on purpose, but purposely allowing yourself to die and be a body double? I don't know, man. Let me know of any and all opinions in the comments below, and let's move on. Now, in the previous video I speculated that Lalo could be the one picking up the knife or the half scissor in behind that old lady in the trailer, and it looks like that is the villa, Gus's villa, that he made in dedication to his former partner Max. So Lalo could be hitting the villa and maybe just wiping it out and hurting Gus where it hurts most. And I got a bunch of comments theorizing this, so it seems like that's probably the route that they're going to take. I also got a few comments saying that the clip of the guy shooting the fully automatic pistol in the air kinda looked like Tuco, and although I'd love to see Tuco in season 6 to the point I made an entire video about it, I'm not sure that this is him. I'll link my Tuco season 6 predictions on screen and at the end of the video for a more in-depth breakdown of my thoughts.
Tight, yeah!
Alright, now moving on to Jimmy's side of the show, the next vague subject is Jimmy and Kim, and I'm gonna start by talking about the song in the trailer, which is called Days of Wine and Roses by Frank Sinatra, created for the movie of the same name. So I looked up the Days of Wine and Roses movie, which is from 1962, and it's a movie about a guy named Joe who meets a girl named Kirsten and gets her into drinking alcohol. Kirsten is reluctant at first, but eventually gives in and becomes an alcoholic alongside him. They both ruin their lives in various ways due to alcohol and decide to get clean. After getting sent away to a sanitarium, Joe manages to get sober, but Kirsten not so much. Joe tries to help her, but ends up getting sent back to the sanitarium for trying to steal a bottle of alcohol for her. After getting released a second time, Joe becomes sober for good, but is accused by his family for being responsible for Kirsten's alcoholism. Kirsten eventually returns to Joe and their kid, apparently they have a kid, asking to get back together, but Joe tells Kirsten only if she quits drinking. The movie ends with Joe and Kirsten separating due to her alcoholism, with Joe and their child wondering if Kirsten will ever get better. So it's kinda open-ended, possibly for a sequel. I read the entire plot synopsis. I decided just to give a quick summary because it actually is really interesting how much it does relate to Jimmy and Kim. Now take that story, replace Joe with Jimmy, replace Kirsten with Kim, and alcohol with being a con man. Jimmy got Kim into conning even though she was reluctant at first. We all thought Jimmy was the wild one, but now Kim is revealed to be the one out of control. We used to think that Kim would break up with Jimmy due to all the cons, but now it's looking like Jimmy will break up with Kim due to all the cons. If Better Call Saul follows this movie, Jimmy won't want to be around Kim anymore due to how corrupt she's become, but at the same time he'll be accused of being responsible for her downward spiral into corruption, probably feeling guilt himself. I could also see the Jimmy McGill timeline ending open-ended, where Kim leaves Jimmy without us knowing if she'll ever come back, maybe until her eventual return in the Gene timeline, which would be the sequel to their story. In the movie they also point out that Kirsten having a passion for chocolate could have been the first sign of an addicted personality, similar to Kim slowly dabbling in and approving Jimmy's cons. I love how this story parallels Jimmy and Kim's relationship along with their potential future, so it makes sense why they'd use this song. I wouldn't doubt if they took inspiration from the original plot too, and this could be an homage to that. I do see Kim getting in way over her head in season 6 and going out of control, while Jimmy manages to control himself. I wouldn't say Jimmy struggles his way to sobriety, considering he's still a criminal lawyer in Breaking Bad, but he manages to sustain himself enough to stay afloat, when meanwhile, Kim just dives into the deep end. And I got a handful of comments surprised that I didn't discuss this trailer music, and I can see why. The Better Call Saul trailer music music always relates to the show so well, and so it usually ends up being in the actual show as well. And especially the Gene scene songs, they just go so well with Gene's situation. So this season 6 trailer song relates to Jimmy and Kim's relationship, but who knows, it could even be played during a Gene scene and lead up to a Gene and Kim reunion cliffhanger. I have a full video about Gene and Kim possibly reuniting, definitely check that out if you haven't. And I'd play the trailer song for you, but I'd get the video demonetized and probably blocked in like 40 countries, so I'll leave a link in the description. Now moving on to a few more miscellaneous comments and theories about Kim and Jimmy. So some people think that Kim is playing 4D chess by putting Jimmy and Howard against each other. That'd be wild if Kim betrays Jimmy somehow, possibly leaving him in the dust and taking the majority of the Sandpiper settlement money in a divorce. I had to emphasize that because I said it wrong in the last video and all of you guys commented about it. It could answer why Kim isn't in Saul's life during Breaking Bad or even in Albuquerque for that matter. Another comment says that Jimmy is carrying the suit from the pilot episode of Better Call Saul in this clip of them leaving Kim's apartment. Now I double checked this and it does seem to be the same suit that Jimmy wears in the very first episode of Better Call Saul. I wonder if this will have any sort of significance or if it's just a coincidence and continuity. Also, someone said that the document in the trash next to the coffee mug is a marriage certificate, although I checked and I'm not sure what the paper is. I took a few photos of it, zoomed in case any of you can read it, but I haven't found any significance. I got another comment that says that they think the Saul Goodman cutout in the pool is a reference to Don Eladio's death. Now in regards to that, I honestly don't know if it's on purpose or a happy accident, but you know what, I'm going to personally believe it's intentional even if it's not. Moving on to Howard. Gotta love Howard.
So, have you thought any more about the job?
Now most of this section is going to be talking about how Howard is building his case up against Jimmy, who's helping him, and how it could unintentionally seal his fate in the worst way possible. I got a comment that says Howard may have found out about Jimmy letting the insurance company know about Chuck's condition. I always figured that Jimmy conning the insurance company looking into Chuck and his condition would have negative consequences in the future. That scene is one of my favorite moments from season 3 and I'd love to see it play a role in the final season. I had a ton of people let me know that it was actually Howard's car driving into the Hooker Motel parking lot. This is confirmed considering the car has the Namaste license plate that we saw Howard get in season 5. I knew the car looked familiar, but I was just too hyped about the rest of the trailer I didn't really bother zooming in and double checking, so thanks of those who let me know. Howard could be going here in regards to the case that he's building against Jimmy, because Howard could be going here to find those hookers that accosted him in the restaurant with Clifford Maine in season 5. Now speaking of Cliff, I got another comment saying that both scenes of Howard show him with Clifford Maine from Davis and Maine, which is co-counsel with HHM on the Sandpiper class action suit. Both Cliff and Howard have both been screwed over by Jimmy, with Jimmy forcing Maine to fire him so that he didn't lose the bonus by quitting his job there. Their proceeds from Sandpiper settlement are also diluted because they have to split them with Jimmy. Those two both have personal and financial reasons to see him go down. Now, I agree with this comment 100%. There's so much going into the initial trailer breakdown that I didn't really mention how Cliff was with Howard, but I did recognize that it does look like Cliff is sniffing around for clues with Howard in order to help him with his case that he's building against Jimmy. As the comment says, Cliff was wronged by Jimmy in season 2 when Jimmy wanted to quit his job but instead forced Cliff to fire him so that he'd keep his bonus. This is really dirty, especially after everything Cliff did for him, vouching for him and hiring him when HHM wouldn't, along with giving him a fancy office and that desk. Better Call Saul is so amazing at making you feel bad for the people that Jimmy wrongs in the show for his own personal reasons, such as the elders in season 3. But I digress. Cliff is definitely one of these characters and I expect him to try and get some revenge with Howard. Cliff could get on board with Howard wanting to take down Saul Goodman, but considering Saul is still in full force by Breaking Bad, I assume that they aren't too successful. Cliff was with Howard in season 5 when the hookers harassed him, so Cliff could even be with Howard driving into that motel parking lot to look for the hookers.
You want to know what's weird?
Maybe they'll try to bribe the hookers to testify against Jimmy somehow, which would look really bad out of context. Cliff's office, Davis and Maine, is partnered with Howard and HHM in the Sandpiper case, so they could be working together against whatever Kim is planning in order to get that settlement money, as she told Jimmy in the season 5 finale. And then to continue this discussion, I got another comment that further elaborates, saying that Howard discovers Jimmy's involvement with the cartel, he'll dig his nose in too deep into their affairs, to the point that he gets himself killed, in a similar way that Hank digs into Walt's involvement in the meth business. The significant difference here is that Jimmy won't care about Howard's fate, unlike Walt, who obviously did care about Hank's fate. Now this theory could explain the domino effect that causes Howard's death. While looking into building a case against Jimmy, he somehow gets involved with the cartel and killed. Howard building a case against Jimmy is the reason that was missing, but now we know Howard's motivations in season 6, it really completes the puzzle. I bet he just starts out building a case against Jimmy with throwing a bowling ball and sending the hookers and screwing over Clifford Maine and whatever else they can think of from, the previous events of the show, but that somehow Howard stumbles upon proof or witnessing that Jimmy is somehow involved with the cartel. The cartel catches wind of this and they give Howard a one-way trip to Belize. This plays into 2 of my previous videos that I'll link on screen and at the end of this video in regards to Howard's fate. I've been predicting since last year in my season 6 death predictions video that Howard will die in season 6 somehow, along with recently discussing an on-set photo with what looks like blood in Howard's hair. Moving on to the next subject, Spooge. So I actually missed a Breaking Bad cameo in the trailer, thanks to everyone who pointed it out. During the scene where there's a bunch of criminal clients waiting for Saul at the nail salon, one of them is Spooge. Who is Spooge, you might be asking? Well, he's the meth head, of course, that got his head crushed by the ATM in that one episode of Breaking Bad. If you don't already remember him from his Breaking Bad death, you'll most certainly remember him for his amazing name. This appears to be Spooge before he was a meth addict. Seeing him all dolled up is certainly a 180 from the way we see him in Breaking Bad, but I'm still surprised I didn't notice him. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. It's cool to see him in the prequel timeline, and to be honest, this should have been very predictable. As we know from Breaking Bad, Spooge was one of Saul's previous clients, because when Walt tries lying to Saul about Jesse being the one to kill Spooge with the ATM machine, Saul tells Walt that Spooge was a client of his and that his wife killed him, which we know is the truth.
People love to take credit for the fun ones. Yeah, the guy who got his head smushed used to be a client of mine. His wife killed him, all right? It was open and shut.
Thanks to everyone for all the helpful comments and pointing out small details that I didn't discuss in the first trailer breakdown video, and apologies if I missed your comment. There were a lot to sift through, and sometimes a bunch of people were saying the same thing, such as Hank or Spooge and Howard's car in the parking lot, so I found all the examples that I could.
So, what's our next move, huh?
Check out my recent Better Call Saul Season 5 deleted scenes breakdown. I just want to mention that I'll be covering all the deleted scenes from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad in the future. I'm also considering making tier list videos for each season of Better Call Saul, ranking each episode leading up to Season 6. I already have a script for Season 1 completed, so let me know what you think about that idea and look out for that possibly in the near future as well. Follow me on Twitter for instant Better Call Saul updates as soon as I see them. A lot of Better Call Saul tweets that I see end up in my videos. Also support me on Patreon if you got a few extra bucks laying around, it'd mean a lot. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything that I've said today, and if you're new to the channel or just haven't yet already, subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay updated on when I post new content on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
So is it, huh?
Yeah. Looks that way.
I don't know you and owe no money to you. That's it.
Don't touch her!